Bro, let's be real for a second. You ever notice how the guys who try the hardest to get girls usually end up ignored? They text too much, compliment too fast, beg for attention. And what happens? She gets bored, fussed. But then there's that one guy. You know the type? Calm, quiet, never seems pressed. And somehow, without saying much, he's the one she keeps thinking about. That guy isn't lucky. He's intentional. He lives by a mindset that most men have forgotten. He's a Stoic. And in this long, raw conversation, I'm going to break down for you exactly how Stoic men get inside a woman's mind. Without chasing, without begging, without losing themselves. Let's talk man to man. In a world full of noise, the man who speaks less stands out more. It's weird but true. Most guys can't handle silence. They panic. They overtalk. They feel like they need to prove something every second. But bro, the real ones, the Stoic ones, they don't say much. And that silence? It's loud. She notices. Everyone does. Because silence isn't emptiness. It's control. It's depth. The man who doesn't need to talk all the time is the man who probably knows something worth listening to. And that mystery, that's where attraction begins. But silence alone isn't enough. You can't just be quiet. You have to be solid inside, too. That brings us to the next part. Section 2. Know your purpose. Let me tell you something most guys never hear growing up. A man without purpose is a man women walk past every single time. You know why? Because purpose is power. When you know who you are, what you're building, and where you're headed, women feel it. They might not be able to explain it, but it hits them. It shows in how you move, how you talk, how you don't chase. Most men are floating. No mission, no foundation. They're like leaves in the wind, going wherever someone else wants them to go. And bro, women can smell that instability. But a man who walks with purpose, he doesn't need validation. He doesn't beg. He doesn't ask for direction because he's already got one. Purpose is magnetic. It grounds you. It gives you something bigger than getting the girl. And ironically, that's what makes the girl want to come to you. But purpose alone doesn't mean you won't face chaos. Life still hits hard. And that's when your next tool comes in. Emotional control. Section 3. Emotional control. Listen, bro, emotions aren't the enemy. But being ruled by them, that's how you lose everything. Stoic men feel everything. They just don't react to everything. There's a big difference between feeling angry and acting angry, or feeling heartbroken and chasing someone who left you. Emotional control doesn't mean becoming a robot. It means you own your reactions. You respond instead of react. And in relationships, this is everything. The moment you blow up, overreact, or break down in front of her, she sees it. And whether she admits it or not, something shifts inside her. She no longer sees you as the rock. You become another storm. A Stoic man knows how to pause, how to breathe, how to take that anger or pain and sit with it, not dump it all over everyone else. That's strength. That's rare. And that's unforgettable. But once you have control of your emotions, there's one more thing you need to master: detachment. Section 4. Detachment. Here's the truth most men never learn. The less you need her, the more she wants you. Sounds backwards, right? But that's the game. See, when you cling, when you overinvest, when you make her your entire emotional world, she feels it. And instead of appreciating it, she pulls away. Not because she's cruel, but because deep down, she's wired to be drawn to strength, not dependence. Detachment isn't about being cold. It's about having a full life outside of her. A life that doesn't collapse if she leaves. When you're detached, you don't chase after validation. You don't fear losing her. You choose her, but only if she aligns with your path. That's power. That's what makes a woman stop and think, why isn't he obsessed like the rest? And that thought, it drives her crazy, because now you're the rare one, the man she can't control. But detachment doesn't mean being invisible. It means being present on your own terms, which leads us to the next law, strategic unavailability. Section 5, strategic unavailability. All right, bro, listen closely. Being available all the time isn't a good look. In fact, it kills attraction faster than anything else. Here's the deal. When you're always there, always responding instantly, always saying yes, you lose value. You become predictable, boring. But a Stoic man? He's strategically unavailable. He's got priorities. He's got boundaries. He doesn't just drop everything for every call or text. This isn't about playing games or being an asshole. It's about showing that your time and energy are valuable and that you expect the same respect from her. When you make yourself a little hard to get, it sparks curiosity. She wonders what you're doing, who you are, and why you're not chasing like the others. That gap? It builds desire. It creates tension. And tension, that's the secret sauce of attraction. Remember, bro, it's not about ignoring her. It's about being present, but on your own terms. Now that you know how to be strategically unavailable, it's time to talk about one of the most powerful traits a Stoic man has, his calm confidence. Section 6, calm confidence. All right, bro, let me tell you something about power. Real power doesn't scream. It whispers. You don't need to puff your chest out, flex on social media, or talk big to be a man of value. A Stoic man walks into a room and owns it, not with noise, but with presence. Calm confidence is different from arrogance. It's not loud, not showy. It's the quiet knowing that you've got nothing to prove and everything under control. She can feel it. The way you hold eye contact, the way you speak with certainty, the way you sit in silence and still dominate the room. That kind of energy is rare, and rare things are valuable. When you're calm, you become a safe space, a mystery, a challenge. And women, they can't resist a man who's unbothered, unshaken, unchained. Let them talk. Let them test you. Let them try to shake your core. But you stay grounded. You stay still, like a mountain in the storm. That's how she starts to panic, because the moment she realizes she can't control you is the moment she starts chasing. And once you've mastered calm confidence, the next level is even deeper, emotional control. Let's go there. Section 7, emotional control. Let me break something down for you, bro. A man who can't control his emotions is a man controlled by everyone else. That's how she wins. That's how the world controls you. They provoke. You react. They pull strings. You dance. You're not leading. You're being led by impulse. But the man who pauses, who feels the heat rising and still breathes calmly, that man, he becomes unstoppable. Emotional control is not about being cold. It's about being centered. It's about knowing the difference between response and reaction. She'll say something to test you. She'll ignore you to watch if you break. She'll flirt with another man to see if you'll beg. And the moment you fold, she knows she owns you. But when you don't flinch, when you smile instead of explode, when you walk away instead of arguing, she doesn't know what to do anymore, because her game stopped working. Remember this. The one who controls your emotions controls you. And when no one can control your emotions, you become dangerous. You become the calm in chaos, the eye of the storm, the one no one can shake and everyone respects. And once you master your emotions, the world starts to bend in your favor. But what happens when you go even further and build an empire in silence? That's where we're headed next. Section 8, build in silence. The loudest man in the room is often the weakest, because real power doesn't need a shout. Real growth doesn't need an audience. You see, when you go silent, people get nervous. She starts wondering what you're planning. Your enemies start guessing where you're headed. And the truth is that mystery is your advantage. While they waste time showing off, you're sharpening your mind. You're stacking money. You're building strength brick by brick out of sight. Let them sleep on you. Let them doubt you. Let them mock you. It doesn't matter, because you're not doing it for their applause. You're doing it for the man you promised yourself you'd become. And the day you return, quiet, calm, powerful, they won't know what hit them. So stop announcing moves. Stop proving your worth. Start building in silence, and let your results scream for you. Now, once your silence builds power and your presence commands respect, there's one final step that separates the average from the elite: purpose. And that's where we go next. Section 9. Purpose is the final power. You can lift all the weights, stack all the cash, destroy every woman that doubted you. But if you wake up each morning with no why, no purpose pulling you out of bed, then all of that is just noise. Because a man without purpose is a grenade without a pin. He might seem powerful, but he's always one wrong move away from blowing up his own life. Purpose is what gives pain meaning, what gives sacrifice a direction, what gives strength a soul. You were not born just to chase dopamine hits, not just to collect women like trophies. You were born to build, to protect, to create something that outlives you. And when a man finds that thing, the mission, the legacy, the cause that makes his chest burn and his eyes sharp, he becomes untouchable. No heartbreak can stop him. No betrayal can break him. No failure can bury him. Because now he's not just surviving. He's moving with meaning. And when a man moves with meaning, when every step is fueled by purpose, there's only one thing left to do: lead. And that's what we talk about in the final chapter. Section 10, lead silently. A man who has healed, who has faced his shadows, who no longer reacts but responds. He doesn't talk too much. He doesn't try to convince. He doesn't beg to be seen. He doesn't explain himself to people who aren't ready to listen. Because when you've built yourself from the ground up, when you've buried the old you and forged a stronger one in silence, your presence speaks for you. Your stillness becomes louder than noise. Your actions weigh more than words. Your calm makes the weak nervous. Your discipline breaks their illusions. You don't need to walk into a room and demand respect. You are the respect. You don't need validation. You validate yourself with every choice you make. You become a man other men watch in silence. And women feel before you even speak. And that's when you've arrived. When your life becomes your loudest statement. Not your words, not your flex, not your revenge, but your evolution. So heal in silence. Grow in silence. Build in silence. And when the world starts to notice, just smile, because they have no idea how many wars you've fought to become this quiet.